In this particular lecture, let's learn how a useReducer hook works in React. So in order to understand the useReducer hook, first of all, let's take an example of the useState hook. So we will compare and contrast the useState hook with the useReducer hook so that you will be able to understand the useReducer hook in a much more better way. So first of all, let's go ahead and let's implement a simple counter in React using the useState hook, and then let's implement the same counter using the useReducer so that you will be able to understand the difference between the useState hook and the useReducer hook. So over here, we create a variable called as count and then the setCount method, and we make use of the useState hook for this. And the initial value of this particular count variable is going to be set to 0. Simple enough. So let me display the value of count here. And now if you go to the browser, as you can see, the value 0 is displayed here. So this right here is our state. And now let's create a couple of buttons here to increment and decrement the value of that count variable. So button, let's call this thing as increment button. And over here, whenever this button is clicked, I want to go ahead and increment the value of count by 1. So in order to increment the value of the state variable using the useState, what you do is you say onClick equals, and over here, I'll create a callback function. And here I simply need to go ahead and make use of the setCount function in order to set the value of the count to whatever value I want to. So here I could say setCount, and I want to take the existing value of count. So count and then add 1 to that. So if I do that, now if I go ahead and click on the increment button, as you can see, the value of the count is being incremented. Now let's go ahead and let's create a similar kind of a decrement button here. So button, decrement, and then the on click of this one is going to be set count, but this time we will set the count to count minus 1. So if I go ahead, click on decrement, as you can see, it decrements the value of the count here, which is what exactly we wanted. Now let's go ahead and let's take an example of a useReducer in order to implement the same logic here. So in order to make you guys understand the similarities or differences between the useState and the useReducer, I'll keep this state as it is and we'll create another state here using the reducer. So this count variable actually belongs to the useState hook. So now let's go ahead and let's use the useReducer hook. So in case of a state, what happens is you have the state variable, then you have the setCount to change the value of the state variable. But in case of reducer, we have state and a reducer function and an action which we dispatch. So let's go ahead and let's write a reducer here. So in order to create a reducer, we use the useReducer hook. So it automatically imported useReducer from React. So this is a function, so we essentially call this particular function. And over here to this function, you have to pass in a couple things. We are going to take a look at that later. But first of all, let's take a look at what exactly this useReducer actually returns. So here I would say const, and I would say const an empty array equals this. Now, whenever you are creating a reducer, the first thing which you have to pass here, or the first thing which you get here, is going to be the state. So just like the state variable here, we also have a state here as well. You could name this thing anything, but I would actually name it as state so that it becomes easier to understand. Now the next thing which we have over here is going to be dispatch. So we'll understand what dispatch is later. So I'll say dispatch. And then in this particular reducer, so you have to pass in two things. So the first thing which you have to pass to this particular reducer is the reducer function. So here, let's pass in the reducer function. So I would say reducer. So we have not created this function yet. We are going to do that soon. And the next value which you need to pass in here is going to be the initial value of the state. So let's say the value is 0. So this is how we create a reducer. So in case of a reducer is created by using the useReducer function. And this useReducer returns two things. So just as the useState returns two things, the state and the function to change that state, the useReducer actually returns two things. It returns state and a dispatch. Now this dispatch here is nothing but, you could say that it's kind of an action which we dispatch whenever we want to change this value here. So do not worry if you do not understand the significance of a dispatch and the reducer right now. You are going to understand that very soon. So first of all, let's work on this state. So this state here in the reducer is nothing but it's like your regular state which you could display here. So if I say state here, and if I go back here, we actually have an error here because it says, all right, you actually have created or passed in a reducer here, but that function is undefined. So let's quickly define that function as an empty function for now. So in order to define that, I'll go ahead and define that, let's say up over here. So function reducer, and for now, let's keep it empty. So if I do that, now as you can see, the error from the console would be gone. So here we have this 0 from the count, that is the first 0, and the other 0 which we have here is actually from the reducer. So to keep things simple, let me bring it to the bottom here. And over here, I would say this is our useState and this is for useReducer, so that you'll be able to understand. All right. So now both the states are 0. And now let's learn how we could go ahead and increment the value of this state which we have here. And also you need to understand that the value of this state is right now showing to be 0. This is because we have passed in this 0 here. So if you change it to 2 here, as you can see, the value of that becomes 2. So let's revert it back to 0. And now let's go ahead and let's learn how we could make use of a reducer in order to change the value of the state which we have. So whenever you want to change the value of a state variable inside a reducer, that job is actually done by a reducer function. Now, whenever you create a reducer function, there are two things this reducer function has to accept. So the first thing this reducer function accepts is the state. And the next thing which the reducer function accepts is the action. So while learning reducer, you have to actually kind of memorize this particular syntax of creating a reducer, the kind of variables this reducer returns, and then this particular syntax of creating a reducer function. So now what happens is, whenever we want to make changes to this particular state, we have to make this inside this particular reducer function which we have. So once we have the reducer function ready, now let's also create the increment and decrement button for the reducer state. So over here, I'll create a button and let's call this thing as increment count, and then another button here as decrement count. All right. So now here, as I actually want to increment the value of the state, here I would say on click. And instead of actually making use of a function here, in case of a reducer, what we do is we basically dispatch an action. So this is what this dispatch actually is for. So over here, I would say on click of this particular button, I don't want to increment the value of the state, but instead I want to dispatch an action. So here I would say dispatch, and this dispatch is nothing but this dispatch which we have here. And to this particular dispatch, you actually have to pass in an entire object. So as I want to pass in an object here, I'll add curly braces. So we are essentially dispatching an action here. And with every action which you dispatch in a reducer, you actually have to pass in two things. That is the type of the action and the payload for that particular action. So here in this, you actually have to mention the type of action you want to dispatch. So here, as we want to increment the value of the state variable, let's say we call this particular action as increment. So you have to pass in increment as a string. And the next value which you have to pass in over here is the payload. So the payload basically means by what amount do you want to increment the value. So here I would say payload. And the payload is going to be, let's say 1, because on click of this button, let's suppose we want to increment the value of the state variable by 1. So here, as you can see, we have a dispatched an action. So this is a dispatch function or a dispatch method. And in here we have dispatched an action. So this right here is an action object. And inside the action object, you have to pass in the type of action. So that basically defines what we are doing. And then we also have to pass in the payload. That is nothing but the actual value which is going to be used inside that particular action. So now what happens is, whenever I click on this increment count button, this action is going to be dispatched. And now once that action is dispatched, that action has to be handled by this particular reducer function. So let's go ahead and let's quickly handle this particular action over there. So in order to handle this action here, I would go ahead and access this action from this action which is being passed here. So I would check if the action, so if action dot type, so this actually gives us access to this action. So we want to check if the action is increment, which is this action right here. So we say if action dot type is equal to increment, in that particular case, do something. So here what we essentially want to do is that we want to return the new value of the state which we have. So as I earlier mentioned, the job of this reducer function is to go ahead and change the value of the state variable, and that's exactly what we will be doing here as well. So what we want to do here is that we want to take the value of the state variable and then increment the value of that by 1. So here I could say return state plus 1. We could either do this, that is directly substitute 1 here, or what we could do is we could take this particular value of 1 from this payload. So instead of saying 1 here, I could also say action dot payload. So if the action is increment, then we take the value of the state variable, which is currently 0, and then simply go ahead and take the value of action dot payload, which is 1 here, and then increment the value of the state by 1. So let's see if that works. So if I click on increment count, as you can see, the value of this is being increased. So now let's see what's happening behind the scenes. So what's happening here is that whenever we click this particular increment count button, which is this button right here, we are dispatching an action object. So whenever the action object is dispatched, what essentially happens is that this reducer function actually takes care of that particular action object. So that action object is being passed here along with the state which we have here. So the value of the state is right now 0. So here we have 0. And the action object which we currently have is this object right here. So once we have access to the action object here, that basically means we also have access to the actions type and the actions payload. So first of all, even before returning a new value of state, we first check what is the kind of action we are implementing here. So we are checking here if the action type is equal to increment, and if that's the case, then we are actually returning a new value of state, which is state plus the payload value which we have passed here. Now if you have a payload value of 2 here, in this case what happens is the count value is going to go up by 2. That's because the payload being passed here is 2. So let's revert it back to 1 here. So now let's implement the dispatch for decrement as well. So over here on this button, I would say, all right, whenever we click this button, I want to dispatch an action. So I want to dispatch an action, and the type of this action is going to be decrement. So decrement, and I could also pass in a payload here, and the payload is going to be 1. So now here, once this action is dispatched, we now have to go inside the reducer and handle that action. So here I could say if action dot type is equal to decrement. In that particular case, I want to return the current value of state and then subtract action dot payload. So now let's see what happens if I click on decrement. So if I click on decrement, as you can see, the value of the state created by the reducer is decrementing by 1. So this is how the useState and the useReducer are different. So in case of useState, you directly have a method which actually changes the value of your state. But in case of a reducer, what we do is we dispatch an action object, which includes the type of action as well as the payload. And then we have a reducer function which actually modifies the value of the existing state which we have, along with considering the action object which we have. So this is how useReducer works in React. So I have taken the simple example to make you understand how a useReducer hook works. And in order to keep things simple, let's get rid of the code from the useState hook and let's simply have the code from the reducer. So as you can see, this is one of the simplest ways in which you could implement a simple reducer. And don't worry if you don't understand this on the first go, because there are a lot of things going on here. So make sure that you practice this simple example multiple number of times unless and until you completely understand what's actually happening here. So in the next lecture, we'll keep learning more about the useReducer hook, but this time we are going to go ahead and use a complex object here instead of using a simple number. So in the next lecture, let's learn how to use object as state in a useReducer hook.